Welcome everyone to the Real Whovians cast, episode 543. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I am with Connor. What's up, Connor?
Hello.
What's up, Mike D?
Hello.
What's up, Chris? Okay, so today we got the big news from the video. Michelle Gomez is returning as Missy for the opening two-parter of Series 9, The Magician's Apprentice, and the second part called The Witch's Familiar. So besides that revelation that she's coming back, we also got word that two previous actors that were in Doctor Who. You want to go into the detail with that, Connor?
Yes, one of them is Claire Higgins, who played, I think her name is Ophia, and she played the leader of the Sisterhood of Khan in The Night of the Doctor.
Right. She's the one that gave him the thing to choose what he wanted to be in the regeneration.
Yes.
The potion?
Yeah, the potion.
Yeah.
And then there's another one, Kelly Hunter, who played the leader of the Shadow Proclamation in The Stolen Earth.
Right.
Series 4.
With the Jadoon. And she wanted David Tennant, Donna Noble.
Yeah,
You know,
she was the one with the red eyes. Yeah.
Right. The white hair.
Yeah, white hair, red eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we don't know if they're playing the same characters or if they're playing different characters. That's the only thing. No word, right, Connor?
No word, but I'm inclined to assume that it's probably not going to be a different character. I'm pretty confident that it might be the same two characters.
That was good. Now, it's also possible that the Sisterhood of Karn gave the wrong come on purpose and he became a female. I mean, that would be pretty funny.
Yes.
If that was the case. So you want to go over the cast list for the next two episodes? The first two episodes?
I was going to elaborate on what you said there. It would be kind of interesting if, knowing what we know about the lady there with the Sisterhood of Karn, if she was the one that kicked off the Doctor's regeneration, maybe they're tying that in with why, like you said, Missy's a female now.
Yeah.
That's what I said off there, basically. Yeah, like I think. Yeah.
You know, maybe we could have Night of the Master or something, and they have like John Sim, and do like a mini-sode where he just pisses them off and they give him the wrong cop.
Well, they could call it like Day of the Master instead of Night of the Master, and give it like flipping it around since Missy's like the baddie.
Right. Could be. I still am hopeful that we'll see the John Sim regeneration.
It's possible we might see that in the Witch's Familiar. Because I think that. Sorry, Mike, you go on.
No, there's a delay on my end, I think. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead, man.
No, it's fine. You can go.
Well, I was going to say that I think we might see like at the beginning of the episode, we might actually see something like that where we're seeing Missy regenerate, into that character she is now. Obviously, we'll see the Master regenerate into Missy, basically. It's kind of like a prelude to the story once that episode starts.
Sort of like what they did
flashback.
With
Yeah, like a flashback scene that they just put in there, because Moffat likes to, like you said, kind of draw things out and put things.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see him doing that. Go ahead, Connor. What about the cast list?
So the cast list is we've got Gemma Redgrave as Kate. We've got Claire Higgins and Kelly Hunter, possibly as Sisterhood of Khan person and Shadow Proclamation leader.
So now, Missy shows up at Coal Hill School?
No, I don't think that's how it works.
Because Coal Hill's in Magician's Apprentice.
Yeah, but they were only filming there for a really short amount of time. About half a day, so it's nothing substantial. Then we've got Jay Griffiths. We've got Daniel Hoffman Gill, who is playing a character called Bars.
Right.
We've got Jamie Reed Quarrel, Aaron Neal, India Rhea Amartifia, Joey Price, Dashan Anderson, Haki Bambra, and Demi Papimenas, who is playing a schoolgirl at Coal Hill School.
All right. So now, Chris, what do you think the likelihood is that the opening two-parter is really going to be complex, where we're going to have different facets of like David Tennant's time with the Shadow Proclamation. We may have heard of Karn. Is it possible to mix all this stuff together to get some type of story that's going to be not just for the two-parter, but throughout the whole season? What do you think is going to happen? You can hear me or no? Is he muted or?
I think his audio dropped out.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so maybe he didn't hear anything I said.
I think he might have heard it. His audio is probably
Yeah,
out.
he's speaking, but I can't hear anything.
That's his phone, right?
Yeah, it probably is. So what I'll tackle
Yeah,
that one. Yeah. I think it'll probably, it sounds like to warrant in their minds a two-parter, it sounds like that they are going to probably have a little bit more of a complex sort of storyline to warrant having a two-parter, I would assume. So, yeah, I think we're going to see a combination of different things going on. That's why I think, we might see something to do with the regeneration that the Master has into Missy, that persona. But I think with all the characters involved, with Kate Stewart and like some of these different personalities that we know are going to be in this two-parter, it sounds like it's going to be a little bit more complex a story. It's going to involve. It's not going to be your basic sort of like monster of the week sort of thing.
Coal Hill School, Unit, Kate Stewart, the Sisterhood of Karn, maybe.
It sounds
Shadow
like
Proclamation. That's like wow.
Yeah, it sounds like Death in Heaven kind of blockbuster. Get everyone in it kind of.
Like a Pandorica opens Big Bang
Yes.
type of thing. It's like, it's almost as if they're preparing it for the whole entire season. Well, they'll have these characters in there, and then in the finale two-parter,
I think.
Wait a minute.
Well, there's a delay on here. So
One second. Let's figure this out. We have a two-part opener, right, Colin?
Yeah, followed by a two-parter.
That's 4.
Yeah, that's two-parters in a row. Then we've got a two-part finale.
That's 6.
Yeah, and we don't know what's going on in between yet.
So could it be possible that every episode this season has a two-part?
That's what I thought. Is that what Moffat's doing? Because this is going to be a huge season, one that's detrimental to the entire history of Doctor Who. Is this like the season?
Well, we did talk about how we would like to see longer stories, like instead of just being 45-minute long stories. So maybe they're changing up the formula a little bit.
The only thing that can go against the fact that it might be two-parters throughout is that Catherine Tregenna is only writing one episode, as far as I'm concerned. And
right. In other words, that would be the 11 episodes for the season. And then we have a Christmas special. Because don't forget, we lost 2 episodes this year. Just like last year, we lost 1 episode.
I think we've only lost 1 this year. I think it's 12.
No, it's supposed to be 12 plus a Christmas special, 13. The original count is 14.
Right.
13 plus a Christmas special. So we did lose. Well, I think we did. I don't know. I think they've been silent about it, to tell you the truth. But
Missy, just to go back to Missy, Missy's wearing a vortex manipulator on her wrist.
What?
She's wearing a vortex manipulator on her wrist, which suggests that she doesn't have a TARDIS. Because vortex manipulator, if you remember, David Tennant said it's like a cheap way to time travel.
Right.
It's basically a substitute for a TARDIS.
Right.
River had one.
Yeah.
Well, there.
So Clara. Clara still has it.
Where would Missy have acquired this from?
She might just have it because she's a Time Lord, isn't she? I think Time Lords. I don't know if the Doctor has one that he doesn't use.
Technically, Clara still should have the vortex manipulator.
Yes.
Technically. She didn't give it back to you, did she?
I don't know.
Well, there's. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's. I saw a website where they were showing screenshots, and it makes sense. I remember seeing it in episodes of season 8. There's several scenes where you see a red phone booth in the back of Missy, and a lot of people say that that's her TARDIS.
Right. I agree. I
mean,
think so.
they don't really explain it, but maybe they'll explain it in
But
season
the doctor did say, oh, maybe she had to have a TARDIS to do, to be following me through my timeline and to be, manipulating events for so long.
Well, could Missy have got the vortex manipulator from Clara?
See, now we get started to be complicated because Captain Jack had it. Then supposedly, Dorian Moldavar had gotten a vortex manipulator from a dead time agent, and we don't know if it's Captain Jack, which River technically, maybe she got it from the library, Missy, because they left a sign from the journal and the vortex manipulator outside, chilling on the shelf. So
that's possible because Missy practically knows the whole of the Doctor's timeline, and wasn't the things written in that journal that are about the Doctor and his timeline and Rivers and.
Right. So she could have just went to the library, picked up the sonic screwdriver and the vortex manipulator and Rivers' journal, and just started screwing with things.
And can we tie this in with the individual that was with the Shadow Proclamation? That's the lady, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could she have obtained it from that lady? I forget the character's name, but
she's called the Shadow Architect.
Okay.
She's just practically like the upholder of the law in the galaxy. I don't think she has a vortex manipulator. I don't think she's a time traveler. She's a bit like Tasha Lem. The fact that she's just she's the head of something.
I just get the feeling somebody's working in cahoots with Missy that we're not aware of right now that's enabling her to screw with the Doctor.
Yeah, I agree there. I think there is someone behind the scenes.
I felt that way with Matt Bavarian, that the voice of the TARDIS is like Omega or something. I mean, she doesn't have the ability to project an avatar ganger of Amy Pond outside the universe. I mean, somebody's following the TARDIS and making sure that there's a connection between Amy Pond avatar and the Doctor's wife outside the universe. Because Bavarian didn't have the technology to.
What did you'll have to remind me, what did the voice of the TARDIS, what was the line that voice said to the Doctor in that episode?
Silence will fall.
Because I'm wondering maybe if...
When the question is asked.
Yeah. Could that possibly be maybe the Master's involvement before this regeneration into Missy? Where, this has kind of been just laying breadcrumbs throughout the last couple of seasons that's going to lead to something this season?
I still think they're manipulating events, Bavarian, and to whoever she's working for, and maybe Missy's a part of that.
I mean, that really doesn't make sense that there was that voice in the TARDIS that was never really explained.
Never. And it doesn't make sense how the Dream Lord was still in the reflection of the TARDIS while they were awake. So, you have a lot of factors that are not explained. You have, how the hell did they blow up the TARDIS? Or what did they do to the TARDIS to make it blow up? And did they use that chunk of TARDIS to build the TARDIS? That he had a piece in his hand with the cloth? I mean, was that the purpose of that? Um, you know, the lodger is tied in with Day of the Moon. It's the same damn TARDIS. You know, I mean, who the hell is Quivarian working for? I mean, and he also said, Moffat, that Quivarian's coming back. So now you got Missy, who's just unpredictable because she'll create an army on Earth not to take over the Earth, but just to do the Macarena as Cybermen for no very good reason. Just to like mess with her. She's crazy. So I don't even know what her agenda is or what the hell she's going to do next.
And the fact that Stephen Moffat said today, when this press statement came out about the first two parts, he said that like she comes back into Clara and the Doctor's lives in the most like unexpected way.
Yeah, she shows up at Colville probably school, and she probably gets Clara to get the Doctor to help her for something. Well, let's take a minute.
Speculation, as I mentioned on Gallifrey Base, was that Missy is like working as an ally for the Doctor, but she's manipulating him with information about Gallifrey, so she's trying to tempt him. Which is reference to the serpent in Adam and Eve.
What is the Master afraid of?
Nothing.
No.
No, the Master's
probably the Doctor.
No, the Master wants to have perpetual regenerations. That's the only thing that you can bribe him with, or her.
But the Master was afraid of the Daleks because he took off and became Professor Yana. So he even said to him at the end of death that happened, hey, listen, we could use this Cybermen army to go to the Dalek camps and like kill all the Daleks. So obviously that's in her brain or his brain that they're still afraid of the Daleks, so they still hate the Daleks. So that could be that they found the Daleks and they're going after her. She shows up to Colville when Clara's teaching a class and says, you gotta help me. And then she'd be like, that'll be like something out of Asylum on Daleks where they show up in the beginning of the episode and the Daleks ask them out. Which isn't really original because Moffat did that episode too. So, I mean, that's the only thing I can think of that she just shows up unannounced, like Clara Halpern.
Well, there's a lot of loose threads in the end of season 8. I haven't seen the Christmas special. Are you guys referring to some things that happened during the Christmas special?
No, we're not referring to Christmas special.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
hopefully they'll explain it. I mean, like why does the Master come back as a female in general? I mean, it would just be nice to know why.
Yeah, it would be nice to know what the real plot was of. I am one to think that the real Cybermen don't know what the hell she's doing because they were ready to shoot him in the Five Doctors. Okay, so I doubt that they would assist him anyway with their cyber army. So.
Well, I mean, no, but I mean, it was obvious the Master had control of the Cybermen. It was.
No, he did, she did, but.
She did, yeah.
But did. I honestly think that's, the Cybermen out there will probably be pretty pissed off.
The main thing with the character of the Master, though, is that character has always been a master manipulator.
Right.
So that's her / modus operandi. So.
Correct.
And the mistress is transgender, and so are the Cybermen. That's interesting. I never thought of that before.
Well, I don't know about I mean, she regenerated into a woman.
Yeah.
So she's not really transgender. I mean, she's
fully woman, is missing.
She's fully woman, yeah.
Yeah. It's just that she's had past selves that are male. I've just read this quote from Stephen Moffat again, and it actually says, "But what?" brings her back. It's something. It's an object. It's piece of information. It's not like how. So it's not like she might not go to Coal Hill School because they'd word that like but how, not but what.
Okay.
It's an object.
Well, Missy claims that she knows where Gallifrey is. Is that right?
Yeah, that's
So-
what I mean. That's what I mean.
Maybe-
I think that she's gonna like tempt the Doctor with
Yeah,
information.
maybe she's playing the Doctor, that she's playing him because she knows that he wants to know this information about Gallifrey, but so does she. So she knows that the Doctor's reliable with finding that sort of stuff out, so she's going to play like she's the one that knows where it's at and make him do all the work for it, when in actuality she doesn't know where it's at. She wants to have him be the one to find it so that she can accomplish the means to an end that is on her agenda.
Well, here's another thing to consider, right? Technically, the Doctor knows what Gallifrey is. Because technically, the Doctor is with Gallifrey because he's the Valyard as the timekeeper of the Matrix or whatever. So he's from the future, manipulating events like the Time War and stuff, knows that stuff happens, and he's technically on Gallifrey, the Valyard, unless they explain that he died.
He's not the Valyard yet.
I'm not talking about our Doctor. I'm talking about the Valyard is technically. I mean, he didn't die at the end of Trial of the Time Lord, so technically he's in Gallifrey. Technically.
But events in real time still have to play out in real time.
Right.
If the Doctor knew where Gallifrey was, he'd have found it by now. He doesn't know where it is. He's lost.
That's why he has the face. Because he was given that face to remember, or hint where Gallifrey is.
What we saw in Day of the Doctor, I think is going to happen in Series 9.
The most intriguing bit of information in this podcast that I've heard is the fact that that character from the Sisterhood of Karn's going to be in that. If in fact that actor is playing the same character,
Right.
'cause how does that fit in? That's the big thing, because that's out in left field there. They're throwing that in, you know.
That is.
Well, Khan and Gallifrey are like twins. They've they've had a long history with each other. Morbius was on
Right.
Khan, and then obviously the Eighth Doctor. You know, it's got a strong connection with the Time Lords. There's something between the Sisterhood of Khan and the Time Lords that are kind of.
And the Weeping Angels, because
Yeah.
the Weeping Angels old. They're like this, you know.
It's always been there. It's like a long history, a long rivalry, so to speak. It's
And another thing too, with the Time Lords gone, wouldn't you want to see a race that's trying to become the new Time Lords? I mean, that was the whole thing, that the Daleks wanted to take over as the new Time Lords and defeat Gallifrey. So, you know, you also have in The Girl Who Waited, this race has the technology of hitting a doorbell button and you're in an alternate reality. Like, there's two realities. So, like, obviously, there's stuff going on behind the scenes. Like in Power 3, you have that race where someone's trying to become the new Lords of Time.
I think if anyone's to become the new Lords of Time, I think that the Sisterhood of Khan are pretty close to kind of fitting that bill.
But you also have the test electors.
Yes.
And it's not just one robot, it's many. So, the Time Agents, which is Captain Jack, you know, and Romana was in East Base, right? Where
Yeah.
she was giving Time Lord technology to that race to time travel. So, you know.
The concept storyline wise feels like those wooden Russian dolls, you know, where there's like a big one, then a smaller one in there, then a smaller one, where it's like somebody's manipulating Missy, and then Missy's manipulating the Doctor. Like there's somebody in the shadows, kind of in the background, that's enabling Missy to manipulate the Doctor. And yeah, there's something kind of in the shadows there, no pun intended, but I mean like in the background there that's kind of manipulating the whole thing. I feel.
Right. I agree.
Prentice, Paul K is an alien character. He's not a human, because Paul K was talking about makeup and stuff,
Mhm.
like being hours in the chair doing makeup. I think he's something to do with Missy.
I think the guy from Mummy and the Orient Express is a Time Lord. I think that's his friend, the mechanic, Drax. That because why else would he have anybody look at the TARDIS to see what's wrong with it? Because there's no way they can see what's wrong with it because it's so far advanced technology that nobody could even comprehend that. So this guy, he lets look at the guy's like, oh yeah, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Buddy, you're a Time Lord. That's bullcrap. You're a Time Lord. There's no way you should know what that is. Nobody should know what that is. Even the Daleks who act like they're so superior, right? And they know their Time Lords inside out. They're like, oh, only the Doctor can fly the TARDIS. Like, really? So, like, there's stuff going on, man. I'm telling you. There's Omega. I mean, how the hell did they manipulate Amy's DNA for, like, the baby to become a Time Lord forever? Like, how the hell did they do that? Because somebody manipulated stuff for reasons. Maybe Omega needs a body. Maybe Omega is ruling over Gallifrey in the antimatter universe. Who the hell knows? Don't forget the signal that River sent out in the wedding of River Song. Why would you do that? And she sent a message throughout all time and space, inside the universe, outside the universe, inside of time, outside of time, sideways in time. The Doctor is dying, save him. So there could be a whole bunch of stories mixed into one that's connected in every way with Missy's actions and the voice in the TARDIS. I mean, man, we could go all day. From 11th hour, we could say like River Song was watching over young Amelia and everything's tied in, or maybe Clara's connected with Amelia Pond and River and Clara's cow. And I mean, Jesus, there's so many things we can.
I'm also wondering what Stephen Moffat's like biblical take on like Series 8 and possibly Series 9 is, because we had the concept of heaven in Series 8, and now we've already had a video where Missy mentions Adam and Eve, which I don't think is a joke. It's got to be significant because I don't think she'd improvise that right on the spot.
Well, you've got the idea of the nether sphere, which is like a symbolic of purgatory. And then you got this latest clip with Missy where she's biting into the apple and making allusions to the biblical story of Adam and Eve.
Yeah, there's something religious. There's like
maybe
a
what it
religion
is?
on it.
The nether sphere is an ark. The nether sphere is Noah's Ark. She's going to repopulate a planet, make it like a new Gallifrey, and she's going to rule over it.
By using the Cybermen with that?
No, that was just a show.
Okay.
She has, first of all, if she was going to turn everybody into Cybermen, right? Why the hell did they waste time with the Clockwork Droid, the half-faced man? We've never seen those people from Into the Dalek that got zapped, all these people from Caretaker. Those people were never shown. Obviously, there is a subplot on top of a subplot. Okay, she has a purpose for everybody in the Nethersphere, and that is she wants to be God. She wants to be God.
Perhaps there's no rationality to crazy, and the Master is just crazy.
All right. But these people will follow her. Probably.
Now, what was the in the episode Listen? What didn't they allude to the future relative of Danny Pink being somehow affiliated with like time travel in some way?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was after he. I was trying to remember. Was that pre Danny Pink dead or post Danny Pink dead?
That would have been post, I think.
Yeah, post.
Okay.
Yeah.
In other words, see, the thing is that he's not really dead to anything. Because he is going to end up with Clara, they're going to have a child, and that's what the whole Augustus Pink going to be.
Austin Pink.
Boston Pink, I'm sorry.
No,
Because-
Well, with time travel, anything's possible.
Because he was adopted. He was in a orphanage, so you're not going to say he has a sister or a cousin that looks exactly like that, because you don't even know who the hell his family is. So,
Well, when Missy met with these people that got pulled out when they died, and these individuals when they were pulled out, when Missy met with them, they were always in some sort of heaven-esque, if you will, sort of situation.
yes.
It's almost kind of like the Nexus from Star Trek Generations, where people get pulled into this sort of.
That's what I was telling you about.
Okay.
That's what I was telling you about.
So yeah, I recall now. Yeah, but it seems like that it's like they're rewarded. They're rewarded by being in this like false creation environment. You know, this sort of purgatory where they're in an environment which like makes them happy, like the Nexus in Star Trek Generations, where they might even realize that they are dead, but there's like a trade-off because they're happy in the environment they're in, even though it's an artificial creation.
But the next, I'm sorry, Joe.
Oh, I was going to say, I was just adding to it, kind of what we got in the Christmas special, where the people, when they had the things on their face, and they were in the process of dying, that they were actually given a false environment in their mind, their consciousness, to believe that they were existing in. You know, similar sort of concept, just executed differently.
See, the thing is, the Neversphere is the same exact thing as Silence in the Library. There is no difference. Rivers uploaded into the library. Danny Pink's uploaded into the Neversphere. The names are different, but it's exactly the same graph. It's like Moffat just copying off of himself. You know? Like
Unless there is a linkage there on purpose that they're getting to. Yeah.
Could be it. Clara, dies and goes in the Neversphere. She's with Danny Pink, and then she's the one that invents the library from the Neversphere.
There's another take on the Witch's Familiar title. In Dave the Doctor, Clara was called the Wicked Witch of the Well.
Yes, she did, and it was backwards song.
Yeah, and the fact that Missy and like Clara, there's a connection there. It kind of, I wonder if Clara is both the Master's and the Doctor's companion.
That would be
What do you mean
interesting.
the Master's companion? What do you mean the Master's companion?
It's possible because we know that like she's watching Clara, and because she said in Flatline, "I chose well," and she put the Doctor and Clara together. So what if Clara like helped her to orchestrate this huge plan, where it was like an indirect companion, where Missy kind of had Clara travel with the Doctor, but Missy could see everything that Clara could see throughout the whole time that the Doctor and Clara were traveling together. So it's a bit like an indirect companion.
Well,
Kind of like
An infiltration into the Doctor's life.
that's kind of like the Black Guardian with Turlo when he was first.
I
in
was
the
just going to
series.
say.
Yeah, it's a bit like that.
Well, it's actually because of great intelligence that Missy would have the ability to see what Clara does, because Clara was uploaded into, here we go, another uploaded. Clara's uploaded into the the Bell St. John thing, okay, the computer. And then when she comes out of the computer, she takes some of the intelligence from the computer where she becomes a computer genius. Okay? So it could be a thing in there like if a computer has a virus and if Clara was part of the computer and she's put back into her body, what if the great intelligence or Missy had put something in her to basically act as a camcorder to watch everything? And that's how she's able to see the doctor because the great intelligence was technically working for Missy.
Hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. That is interesting.
Because the great intelligence is not a time traveler yet. In Victorian London, he goes to Trenzalore. How the hell did he get to Trenzalore if he's not a time traveler? And he doesn't have any spaceships. Like, what the hell is that?
Hmm.
Because don't forget, technically, the great intelligence died, right, from Victorian era. So that means he would never have made it to Bells of St. John in the future. So that's a paradox too. I get deep
Well,
sometimes,
I mean,
but yeah.
there's no evidence of the great intelligence in season 8. I mean, he was pretty much wiped out when he tried to interfere with the Doctor's timeline, and then Claire, the Impossible Girl, intercepted that, so it kind of counteracted
Clara's a
neutralized
human.
that.
Clara's a weak human that lived at the end of that. So if the great intelligence is more powerful than Clara,
Well,
the great intelligence
she
lived
essentially
too?
became non-linear. Well, she essentially became non-linear and became fragments of an individual. But I mean, non-linear space-time. But yeah, I don't see any evidence of the great intelligence in season 8. Thus, I don't think that's going to have anything to do with season 9. That's just my opinion.
I feel that the great intelligence went back in time and altered everything. Clara went back in time
Well,
before the great intelligence. Wait, Clara went back in time before the great intelligence went back in time, so she prevented him technically from going to every single event, thereby creating
that's
a
what I'm saying.
paradox.
That she just
Right.
neutralized him because he
So he's alive.
basically he became non-linear and he ceased to exist when just like kind of Claire kind of became non-linear and ceased to exist. She became fragments of a person.
But he should technically exist as she exists.
Well, this puts everything in a weird perspective because if we're going to go with the notion that Clara is being manipulated by Missy or somehow connected with her, and we know that Clara was basically there for all the incarnations of the Doctor at major times, then Missy could be directly responsible for the Doctor's history somehow for some means, for some agenda she's got overall.
It's pretty much known that Missy's been with Clara since the beginning because Missy was the one that originally put the Doctor and Clara together.
Yeah.
So she's been there.
And if Clara's been at all these points in the Doctor's history, then by default, Missy would have had involvement secondhand with those events. Like putting Clara where she needed to be in that time stream of the Doctor's lives. This could all be leading to something big.
Maybe that's why they held back on an explanation in Death in Heaven for the reason why Missy kind of kept them both together. Because they never went into detail. She just mentioned it. And it was brushed off.
We don't know for sure. We don't know for sure if Missy's even coming back. She seems to have been disintegrated. But,
no, she's coming back. The whole video was that I'm trying to get you guys to watch.
That was the point of the video.
That was the whole point.
I couldn't really hear anything. It all sounded distorted to me.
Yeah, Michelle Gomez, the actress that plays Missy, has confirmed that she's going to be back in this series, Series 9. So that's
okay.
She's in the outfit. She's in the very outfit in the dressing room, filming as we speak as Missy. She's like, "Here I am. I'm back."
Okay,
and this is no deep breath to In the Forest of the Night cameos. This is like she's a proper character now.
Full fledged.
I like her Victorian outfits.
Yeah.
I think that they
pop up.
I
It's kind of hot.
I think they were really happy at the reception that Missy's character got. I think that she went over really well as the new master, and they really that went into really utilizing her for this coming series 9, with how the fans took to her and stuff. But I also think that there's been I seem to see that Moffat is he does have like an overall plan for things. I think that he's kind of planned for his whole run as the showrunner for Doctor Who to have all of these story arcs that kind of run concurrent, but also have like a grand story arc that's going to wrap up at the end of his tenure as the showrunner of the show. I think that we're seeing that played out right now.
I just hope that they don't do something stupid that they said we're not going to expect in the finale. Like saying that his wife was actually the master, and then she regenerated into a guy and just messed with him the whole time.
Who the hell was Santa Claus? Because I didn't see the Christmas special, so who the hell was Santa Claus?
Santa was like a dream.
A figment of an imagination.
Yeah, he was a figment of imagination. But he was actually in it.
Okay.
He was in it right at the end because he was kind of the one that he took the Doctor and Clara back to Clara's hotel or whatever, the hotel that she was staying in, and that's kind of like what led to Clara deciding that she'd stay with the Doctor.
They used the character,
but I think they're gonna kill off Clara in season 9.
No.
I don't know. That's the rumors I heard on the internet. Was that the actress was wanting to leave, and that they were going to find a way to get rid of Clara.
That was Amy Pond. That's not Jenna Louise Coleman. Jenna Louise Coleman. That's not true.
Okay.
She doesn't want to leave.
Well, fair enough.
So Amy Pond wanted it that way, but yeah.
Well, no, but I heard that the actress. I also heard that the actress who played Claire. I can't remember her name right now.
Jenna Louise Coleman.
I heard that. Okay. I heard that she wanted to leave as well, but I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of rumors floating around on the internet.
Yeah.
Not all of them are true.
I mean, they're saying Capaldi, may regenerate in Series 10 because that's what we signed up into.
Well, I mean, they typically, like after 2 or 3 seasons, they usually find a new companion. So it's highly possible that they might replace Claire.
Well, Jenna's the longest-running companion now, right?
She will if she makes it to the last episode. If
I need to hear more information before I make a proper judgment as to what I think might go on in the series, because there's a lot of possibilities from the information that we got in Series 8 concerning Missy. So I think the more information we get, I think the more we might get closer to making, some sort of theory as to what might happen.
Right.
Yeah, I wish I. No, as I was saying, I wish I would have had more time at Gallifrey 1 because there was a lot of panels and there was a lot of. I think some of the writers from the show were actually there, but I just didn't have time. I had to do a photo shoot. But oh well. We'll see, I guess.
We also have instances throughout the series where the Master and the Doctor have had to work together when, at the beginning of the story, they were at odds, and they've had to work together to kind of get out of a situation. So we might even see something like that happen again.
Well, that happened but then the Doctor wound up almost dying and regenerating.
The Doctor's not 100% enemies with the Master / Missy. I think he's still got a bit of friendship, in him with that character. So I think that the possibilities of allies to find Gallifrey, using Missy's information, the Doctor's intelligence, and means of finding Gallifrey, I think that's definitely probably going to come into play in Series 9.
Or you'll find out that Gallifrey's destroyed because Missy destroyed it. And that's what the whole thing is, that they were all dead.
That would just be stupid, I think. But
Could be stupid, but
Who knows? With like I said, with time travel, anything is possible.
yeah, I just don't. I trying to figure out what the hell they're gonna do with the finale because the way Stephen Moffat's talking about, he's been talking about it since we saw the last season finale about this upcoming one. Like he said, he's a nerd himself, he's like a little fan himself. He's like, oh, Series 9 finale is gonna be not like nothing you've ever seen.
Yeah, something that you won't expect.
Well, they play it up too, so I mean, you're going to expect that they're going to say
They've been
something.
playing that up since Series 8, before even Series 8 even like finished. So,
And now that we're getting Unit, the Master, and possibly the Sisterhood of Khan, and the Shadow Proclamation all in one episode, right at the beginning of the series, the very first 2 episodes, it's like, normally you'd like wait until the end of the series for casts like that, characters to come into play into storylines like that, but the fact that Moffat's, and because it's a Moffat written episode, it's got to be something linked into what he's written for the finale, I think. So the fact that he's starting off big and he's going to finish off with Series 9 even bigger, probably it's quite a miss.
Nobody said Moffat's leaving at the end of Series 1 either.
Exactly, yeah.
So he's
So
not
what-
going to leave until he makes a female doctor.
Yeah.
That's when he'll leave. He'll even do the first season with her. Just for breaking rights.
I'll make a call here and say that for this Series 9, we're going to see that Missy is working in cahoots with somebody else or being manipulated by them, and we're going to see eventually she and the Doctor are going to have to work together in an uncomfortable fashion to fix whatever shakes out by the end of the season. Because that's what we've seen with the Master and the Doctor before, and that fits with that character.
Yeah, I agree with Mike. I think what I'm going to say is that I do think that we'll see a team up between the Master and the Doctor sometime during Series 9, and I think it's going to work up to possibly Gallifrey.
I'm just hoping I don't want to see Gallifrey. I just don't want. Not yet. We'll see. All right, guys, this has been a long cast. Yeah, Chris, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
No,
I want to see Gallifrey, and I want to see Timothy Dalton. You know, and then I want him to say that he's really James Bond. I think that would make an interesting twist.
I want him to scream his head off and spit some more.
Yeah. I remember when he did that, like, throughout
Like
the
some
whole
lungus. Yeah. Gallifrey and spit.
That still doesn't beat the loogie that Matt Smith coughed up in that regeneration scene where he spits on the TARDIS after he regenerates.
Oh, that was horrible.
Didn't he spit his tooth out?
No, it was like this, but it was this huge spitball. It was like a.
But they covered that with Amy Pond said something to him about, like, in an episode, and I think he spit again.
I just think that Matt Smith's a very spitty sort of person, and
But that was great. I like what he did. That was great. It's like, oh, I got new teeth. Spit that out of there. I like that. Wow, that was good. I thought it was brilliant.
Matt Smith's got a lot of saliva, I suppose.
That's a lot of shenanigans. That's a lot of rabies and the Sapphire.
Yeah, look what they did with Matt Smith after a while. He's like underneath the woman's dress, like naked. Like, yeah, what kind of crazy directions is that? I don't know what's he doing. I don't know. All right, gang. This has been a long Whovians cast, so I'm getting time to go to bed. Take care. Bye for now.